Today we're going to be talking about the African diaspora in India. From military heroes to royal dynasties, India has centuries of incredible Black history you do not want to miss. So let's get started. My name's Faida and welcome to Freedom is Mine, where we talk about Black history, culture and contribution from all around the world. Today we'll be looking at Black history in India and we have some great stories coming right up. If you want to know about other countries, then please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram at Freedom is Mine Official, where we are serving amazing global Black history content. And if you really want to support this platform, then you can purchase our fully illustrated book, the Afro Encyclopedia, where we learn about Black history from 100 countries around the world, from Asia to Europe to the Middle East. So check it out by clicking the link in the description. And without further ado, let's talk about India.
Have you heard of the Sidi? They're a community of Indians of African descent who can trace their roots back to a number of African countries, including Somalia, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Sudan, Tanzania, Malawi, and Mozambique. Today, the Sidi community numbers an estimated 25 to 70,000 people, and they mainly reside in the regions of Karnataka, Gujarat, and Hyderabad. Depending on the region they inhabit, Siddi speak a variety of languages, including Urdu, Gujarati, and Hindi. Some are Muslim, while others are Hindu or Christian. The Siddi community are largely descended from African merchants, sailors, mercenaries, and enslaved people who came or were brought to India during the Indian Ocean slave trade. Also known as the Arab slave trade, there are varying accounts of when this trading period began. By at least the 7th century, merchants were regularly sailing between India and the east coast of Africa, trading items such as cotton, glass beads, ivory, gold, and enslaved people.
There are no concrete statistics on how many Africans were trafficked during the Indian Ocean slave trade, and estimates vary depending on the source. Conservative estimates put the number at around 4.7 million.
Over the centuries, Africans in India made significant economic, political, and cultural contributions, the legacy of which remains to this day. Enslaved African men were deployed to work in security, construction, and mining, as well as more specialized roles that required military, administrative, and equestrian skills. Women were often assigned to domestic roles and were taken as concubines. One famous example is Yasmin Mahal, a formerly enslaved African woman who married Wajid Ali Shah, the last king of Oud in northern India.
Historically, Africans and their descendants were regarded as exceptional warriors and bodyguards and played an important military role in India. Unlike the transatlantic slave trade, enslaved Africans in India were often afforded greater social mobility and sometimes ascended to positions of power and leadership.
One salient example is Malik Ambar, an Ethiopian who was enslaved as a child and brought to India. In the early 1600s, Ambar rose up the ranks to become a powerful military leader in the Deccan region of India, who fought the Mughal Empire, Jahangir. He was revered for his military prowess, intellect, and mastery of finance and administration. Notably, there were two princely states under African Indian rule during the British Raj. Both the Janjira state and the Sachin state were ruled by dynasties of Ethiopian Habesha origin and lasted until 1948, when they became part of independent India. Today, the Siddi community remain connected to their African heritage, not just through their physical appearance, but through cultural elements too. These are particularly prevalent in music and dance, as well as partial usage of Kiswahili and other Bantu languages. The use of instruments such as coconut shell rattles, the nangalaya and the malunga are all of African influence. However, in general, the Siddi community remains relatively marginalized in wider Indian society, a situation exacerbated by a colorist caste system that largely favors lighter skin. Thankfully, there are organizations such as the African Indian Alliance, a Siddi partnership, a non-profit based in Karnataka that work to improve living conditions for Siddis. Although Siddis remain underrepresented in the political arena, History was made in 2020 when Shantaram Sidi became the first Indian lawmaker of African descent. He is currently a nominated member of the Karnataka Legislative Council from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Another contemporary Siddi public figure is Girija Sidi, a singer and musician from Karnataka who was the first documented Siddi woman to study classical Indian music.
Although the Siddi population in India remains comparatively marginalised, they continue to preserve their African cultural heritage and work for greater visibility and quality of life for their community. That's it from me for today. If you like that, then check out the other videos on our channel. And of course, you can always show us some love by liking, subscribing and following us on Instagram at Freedom Is Mine Official. If you're interested in purchasing our book, the Afro Encyclopedia, then check the link in the description below. And I'll see you in the next video. Ashe.
Freedom